It's a typo, Josh. Welcome, everybody, to Panfish Station. My name is Mark, if I can spell that right. Co-host of the great Lyle Stokes. How you doing, bud?
Hey, I'm doing good, Mark. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Bring on spring, man. We got freezing rain coming tonight. Isn't that joyous?
I've seen that on the weather where you guys had some nasty stuff coming in. Hey, Chrissy, how you doing? I'm trying to get over this coughing crap. It's just unbelievable how long it hangs on.
Well, I'm sorry to put you through all this, but I appreciate you being here.
Absolutely, man.
Taking a look at everybody. Let's see who's in chat here. I'm going to start saying the show off as usual by saying hello to everybody. Get the list of names up here. We got Benoit Fishing Outdoors. You know, I misspelled or mispronounced their name again last week. I felt so bad. There's Cold Creek Catfishing, Billy. He's a member. What's going on, Billy? Thanks for supporting the channel. Crappie Day, Darren. How you doing, Crappie Day? There's our buddy Chris and Telly over at Hooks and Hammocks. Joe Buck 66. He's been a member for quite some time. Thanks for your support, Joe Buck. Mama 2143. What's going on? Welcome to the show. There's our buddy Dan Thompson, also a channel supporter. You're the man, Dan. Mean Green Squad in the house. There's Schmieder of the Cedars. My buddy John over at Small Water Charters. I'm sure he's having wonderful weather like always. There's Josh, the Weekend Angler. I'm surprised he didn't come in with one of his other usernames, if you know what I mean. What's going on uptown? Brown. She's also a channel supporter. How you doing? Who else just popped in here? Let's see, Benoit. And there's Cindy Stokes. What's going on, Cindy? How you doing? Thanks for coming in, dear. Other than that, it's been kind of a slow, crappy week around these parts. I did get a bunch of stuff done fishing wise, so I'm happy about that. How about you?
Yeah, I just been trying to get over this whatever the hell it is I got. I don't even know what you call it. It's like a severe cold. You just can't shake it, cough all the time and sleep all the time, and you know, it is what it is. But I did, Mark, get a really nice phone call from Chris Lee the other day. And for any of you people that live over his way, go to Dave All Over. Has a new video out about regulations and stuff and things that are fixing to take place. You need to take a look at that. You might not think that it affects you, but it does if you use minnows for bait. It's about people eating minnows of all things, and it's just a crazy thing. But he's got a really nice video out, talks about regulations and changes and what's going on. Go check it out. You'll be happy that you did if you care anything about your right to use cast nets and bait and transport it, things like that.
That's just in Indiana, right? Because I know Chris and Dave are both from Indiana, correct?
Yes, I believe that is correct.
And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to Dave's channel, Dave All Over. He's got some good info. He isn't putting out as much info right now, or videos right now, but he's raising newborns or new kids and stuff. He's been taking them channel catfishing. Last time I talked to Dave, he's a great guy, puts out some quality content. He knows his stuff as far as flathead fishing goes 100%. So,
and he stays up to speed on current events.
He sure does. And there's Jesse from Outdoors Addictions. What's going on, Jesse? Nice to see you in here. What's going on? There's Jersey. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? Got some people just coming in. I imagine Danny Stone will come in late as always. There's Uptown Chrissy Brown. We want to send hugs out to Chrissy. Thanks for sharing that link out. We appreciate you.
Do you want to send hugs to her because there's something wrong, or just because she lives with Ernie?
No, just because she's my hugging buddy.
Oh, okay.
I always give Chrissy big hugs whenever we see each other online or in person.
Sweet lady.
Everything's good. I know Ernie got that one deer a couple weeks back, so I was excited for him. He's been at it again, trying to get one before the season's up. It might even be over right now in his neck of the woods up there or in Ohio. I'm not sure if it's over or not yet, but I know he didn't get a second one, not for trying. That's for sure. He spent a lot of time there.
He spends a lot of time in a deer blind. Hey, Jesse, how you doing? Glad to see you in here tonight. But yeah, Chris says they also want to include shad as minnows and ban the transport of all minnows, which means to guys fishing tournaments and stuff, you either catch them where you're fishing or you don't use live bait or cut bait.
So does that include, Chris? Does that include like store bought minnows?
Mm-hmm.
You're kidding. I'll have to check that video out. That seems pretty
You need
crazy.
to go watch it. Yeah, it's some crazy stuff, and I know they're going to make amendments to it and different things. But if I understood what I think I did, it's already passed one mound of stuff it has to go through. So, like House or Senate, whatever it is, and it has to go through the other one. So, not sure how it works in Indiana. We don't have to run that stuff through the government in Missouri, but once one state passes ignorant stuff like that, the rest will soon follow. So, if you're interested in making a difference, better check him out.
Stop it before it starts. That's a good way of getting at it.
Yes,
we
sir.
saw what happened with a bunch of laws in this country. It's taken an active pen to stop them, but it ain't been an easy thing to fight against. So
That's right.
what's going on, Greg Burgess? How you doing? And there's Nicole over at Hobby House Creations. How are you doing, dear? Thank you for coming in. Let's see what Josh has to say. I always got to make sure I be careful when I click on what Josh.
Really? Josh, you would worry about Josh?
Perfect example of what happens when bureaucrats draw up bills without consulting the subject matter experts. That being said, too, we have a dam here on the Fox River where I used to, real close to where I used to bank fish. I'm sorry. And they're taking Carpentersville Dam out, and they're all happy and doing cartwheels and stuff, and the organization that's doing so are pretty much anti-sportsmen. So that's got a lot of us worried about the effects on that fishery down in that area of the Fox, which happens to be a world-class, smallmouth bass fishery. And there's a lot of muskie and stuff down in that part. So there's a lot of people that are concerned. So they're having a meeting to brag about all the changes and stuff going on this weekend. I might have to go to that and see what they have to say for themselves. But that section of river is even shallower than the one that I fish normally. So everybody's worried they're going to turn it into a creek. So we'll see what happens there and what kind of outbreak. Usually when they take dams out of rivers, it's beneficial to the rivers, but when you're talking one that's shallow, it might just reduce it to a creek is what our concern is. So we'll see what they have to say. What's going on, James? How you doing, sir? Bugman in the house. What's going on, Bugman? How are you doing? Let's see if I missed anybody else here going through the chat.
That is correct, Josh. 100%. It's
not
just Illinois.
Well, we can get into that, but maybe when me and Lyle start that politics show on a different channel, maybe we can talk about it.
Baby.
That would be a lot of fun. We'd get in a lot of trouble for that. So
probably so.
Anyways, so you know what I did? I have about I had 10 rod and reel combos in the garage that I use mainly for panfish, crappie, perch, whatever. That's not including my catfish rods or my walleye rods or my salmon rods. So I went through and I started putting new line on them, put 6-pound tests on each and every one of them. So that took me a little while. It takes a while to respool 10 reels. And as I was respooling them, obviously I took them apart, at least partially, got them all cleaned up with some microfiber and some degreaser. What's going on, Crappie Day, Darren? And I got them ready to go. So I'm really chomping at the bit to get out there and fish. But the line all didn't need to be replaced, Lyle, but I hope to do a little more long line trolling this year, bud. And the best way to do that and to know where your baits are in the water is to have all the same pound tests behind the boat.
I agree. That way, when they get hung up, about how it's going to take to cut them loose. I never have done any of that. Don't know very much about it, but I know that if you get hung up a lot, you're going to go through some plugs.
Yeah, it also has to do with how deep your baits are running. If you're running, 10-pound test on one side and 4-pound test on the other, obviously the 10-pound test, because of the diameter of the line, is going to fly higher in the column. So I'm just trying to get everything standardized so I can do a lot more of that this year, which I'm looking forward to.
Somebody that does quite a bit of that. We've had him on our show.
I know so many. Who are you thinking about?
Mike Baker.
Mike Baker sure does. He pulls cranks behind his boat quite a bit.
He does. Got a new video out today too, by the way.
Did he? I haven't had a chance to watch much YouTube here in the last week. I've been dealing with a bunch of other stuff.
He was on the small end of Truman.
Yeah. Truman's right below.
It's above Lake Ozark. It's what drains in and makes Lake Ozark off the Osage River.
What's a better lake in your opinion?
Oh, Truman, hands down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Lamb in the house. What's going on, Jason? How you doing, LG Bass? How are you doing? What's going on?
Bigger fish of all species. More of them. Less pleasure boaters. Less sea-doos. And it's got 2 or 3 major river channels that run through it, and they all run into the Osage River, which at times has enough current that you can bump on. Other times, not so much.
Well, if you got identifiable channels, which we don't have here in the Channel Lakes, that's got to help in catching fish 100%. Our lakes are pretty much pothole lakes. They're all bowls. There really isn't enough current, especially on the other side of the dam there, where the water's pretty much stagnant. So them channels have all filled in for a while. So
stagnant. It's kind of like the Ohio River, right? I got to get a gig on Chad if he's in here.
Now, hopefully he's listening at least.
I hope so. Other than that, I would have never mentioned it. But
All right, Nicole has a question over at Hobby House Creations. She says, is it true that you should replace the line that comes with a new pole off the shelf?
That's a great question. I never do. But then again, I don't buy combinations. I buy rods and reels and then spool them up like I want. But if I bought a reel and it had 6-pound test on it, and that's what I wanted to use, unless I had issues with that line, I'd just use it.
When I think of rod and reel combos off the shelf, I think of the Zebco 33 combos that I have out in the garage. And if I'm not mistaken, they come with a 6-pound, like a red cage, if I'm not mistaken. And that'll usually get you, and with panfish, that'll usually get the job done. It's not necessarily, if you're buying, a rod and reel separate and making your own combos, the reel's generally not going to come with line on it. So you're going to have to put line anyways. But if you're buying combos and you're looking to stay cheap, do what you can with the line. And once it's used up, once it starts kinking or coils up too much, then go ahead and replace it. Then line's generally, cheap. If you're buying a combo, let's say you buy something from Walmart, there's no reason why you can't pick up a spool of mono for like $4 or $5, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I bought some. So
here's the thing, Mark. These companies all have to put out a decent product. Everybody has a phone, they have internet access, and they can't stand the bad publicity that you would get off of something that's not going to work very well. So, they're going to put something on there. It might not be the highest quality made, but it'll be adequate for what the price range of what they're selling.
And if you're pan fishing, like I said, you're chasing bluegill, crappie, perch, whatever, you can pretty much make do with it. And yeah, Lyle's absolutely right. That being said, I know there's a lot of people out there that like the Tumo gear, or Temu, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. The cheaper stuff, the Chinese stuff they order. I heard that the United States Post Office isn't delivering to or from China as of today. I could be wrong, but I heard a rumor of that. So that
do what now?
If you're ordering from China or sending stuff to China, I think the United States Post Office is totally not doing that anymore. So keep that in mind when you're placing orders with Temu or Alibaba or any of that other stuff, which I don't normally advise you do anyway. So, But some people like that cheap stuff. I know on YouTube, if you make review videos of that cheap Temu stuff, you do very, very well. So you can.
Is that right?
Yeah, I know a couple guys that had like million+ hit videos for that stuff. So
actually, Mark, they sent me a deal sometime back about being a supporter of theirs. They wanted to partner with me to do reviews and stuff of their products, and I declined. I just was a little afraid of it.
Understandable. I'm sure you can get something set up with somebody, but don't think that's what you're looking for at this point.
No, and I've turned down others. It wasn't just them, but I'm very selective, and I don't need product endorsements. If they want me to do it, it takes something different.
Yeah, I understand totally. I had a few come to me that I wasn't interested in. So anyways, Benoit Fishing Outdoors says they got a new Trophy Cat Tackle ultralight bait rods to play with this spring. That's always exciting.
Heck yeah.
922 Crappie Barbecue. What's going on, Bobby? Nicole, it's cheap line, but works. More money, but I get a little use out of it before you change it. That's great advice. 100%. I did, Josh, the influencer that he is, I saw
we could call that or something else.
Influencer that he is. He had that nifty little line stripper that he used on Catfish Weekly.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up one of them, and it worked fairly well. I got a couple of hang-ups on it, but I was able to strip all 10 of them reels fairly quickly and get the line back on there. So I'll give him credit for all of that. So
he's got some pretty cool toys.
Oh, looks like Nicole's asking for her son. Cool. We'll pass that information on.
If you're catching panfish, you should be gold.
But Bugman says, no way I would use that stuff. Are you kidding? I don't know if he's talking about Temu or if he's talking about the stock line. Everybody has their own way.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I've used some of the Temu stuff, and some of it is pretty good, and some of it is,
Christy says the hooks from Temu are auto release.
Auto release. Well, I tell you where you can get good hooks. Speaking of Josh, you can go over to Josh's YouTube eBay store. And I don't remember the name of it. I never do for whatever reason. But he has got some really, really good, sharp hooks at a very effective price.
Josh, if you want to post that link, feel free, obviously, in the chat. So Jersey says, I got to say, I like the Piscifun Chaos Reels. I'm a fan of the Piscifun stuff. I like their not so much the bait casters, but the spinning reels. I like their Carbon X. I've been buying a few of those up. They're a lot cheaper than the Stradics, and the Stradics can be a little overkill for anything that is of size. So like panfish and stuff. Definitely, I haven't used those Carbon X on one of my salmon lines. Our salmon looks pretty good.
You know what Piscifun makes that I really like, Mark?
What is that?
Fly reels.
I've seen them, and I got the one fly reel, and I got the setup all ready to go this spring, so I'm looking forward to that. I've also been pouring them 1/64th ounce jigs that I'm going to tie some up, and I'm going to try doing that. I'm going to see if I can copy some of the ones that I got from Crappie Stoppers, our friend Kim Burnett, try and work on some of those, the house fly ones. Those look pretty cool.
Yeah, they are pretty cool. The Piscifun fly reels are very well made. They have a great drag system on them. They're smooth. They're easy to operate. I really am high on those. I've got 3 of them. Have had 0 issues with any of them to date. So if you're into fly fishing, they're economical. You can buy cheaper ones, you can buy more expensive ones, but dollar for dollar, I think you'll be hard pressed to find anything like that. Josh, people are asking for your eBay store name. I'm sorry, I can't remember it.
If you look, like I said, put your link in the chat if you want to.
Yeah, it's something like Balls Deep Tackle or something.
Yeah.
Something similar to that. Knuckleheads or
five
something.
knuckles deep. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe that's what it is.
He's gonna be What's going on, Ryan, over at Send Hooks Across the Ice? How you doing, man? It's getting closer every day, but I know he's chomping at the bit to get out on that river.
Oh, I'll bet. We still have ice, but not as much as we did.
Cheap line. What if you hook the fish of a lifetime? That's a good question. So you definitely want to take that into consideration, and it can happen. You know, if you miss that fish of a lifetime, which I've done in the past, chances are you'll get another fish of a lifetime. I mean, granted, you want to prepare for the not worst case scenario, but the biggest fish you can. But Josh says, it's called Patriot Electronics, but I just prefer people send him a message to Josh at theweekendangler.com, which also allows me to direct invoice and give them a better price. There you go, guys. Can't beat that with a stick.
Outdoor addiction, balls deep, huh? Yeah, that's it, Jesse. You can message Chad and ask him about Balls Deep Tackle.
He's our very first and bestest pro staffer.
I think he is. It's a legitimate company. You can check them out. They got stuff.
Jersey says my grandfather and great grandfather caught plenty of big fish on primitive gear back in those days. I think we fall too much for marketing ploys these days. I agree
100% on that. Most of the stuff that you see sell, whether it be online or in a department store or any big box store, is attracting the fishermen more than the fish.
Fish and Fidget, welcome. It says, you remember the European fishing tackle craze of the 90s? Lyle, do you remember that?
If I heard about it, I might.
I know Japanese tackle is still a big craze, at least in the bass world for sure, and the carp world.
Oh, I got a emoji.
Oh, the carp stuff, definitely. The carp stuff's always crazy. I'm not a big carp fisherman, though.
I got an emoji from Chadwick.
He must be listening.
He must be. And it's just the one I was expecting, too.
I wonder if he sent that to both of us.
I don't know, but he sure sent one to me. What a guy. I'm glad to see he's in there. Maybe him and Dee are sitting there discussing why she catches more and bigger fish than he does.
There's Jeff Beal. He says, if you lose a fish of a lifetime, you lose a lot of sleep until you catch a fish of a lifetime.
Well, there's some truth to that.
I don't sleep anyway, so I guess I'm not overlooking that anyways.
Fish of a lifetime is whatever you think it is.
So remember we were talking about me getting that third battery for that trolling motor, Lyle?
Yes.
I've been rethinking that whole situation.
Oh, yeah?
I really want a lithium battery.
Then you can buy one 36-volt that'll weigh a third of what the other three will.
I that's what I'm thinking, but I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to use these batteries up.
Pardon me.
That's all right. I'm going to use these batteries up, bud, and then when they're done, then I'll go ahead and move on.
Absolutely. I see no reason to shit can perfectly good batteries because you want a lithium, unless you have a weight issue.
No, that I don't.
Yeah, if you had a weight issue, would be the only reason I can say do that. But I'll tell you, as much fun as we've been poking at him tonight, if you have any issues or questions or anything about lithium batteries, Josh knows as much or more about lithium batteries than anybody I know.
He knows so much about lithium batteries, it's shocking.
It is.
Dad joke of the night. You ready, Lyle?
But yeah, he's up to speed on them, and he has reviewed several brands. He's the one that steered me the direction I went. And for anyone that is wanting to know about lithium batteries and this and that, you can watch all of his videos and learn a lot.
Yeah, just check out one of his lithium battery videos and comment down there with your question. He loves answering comments on his videos, especially the spicy ones. Those are always fun to see the way he comments on some of those.
Yeah.
Bugman says the point was, if you saved $10 and lost the fish, was it worth it?
Great question.
Yeah, maybe not. If you don't see the counterbalance spinning reel handles, you don't see them anymore. Actually, I think I have one of those in the garage, so I know exactly what you're talking about, Mr. Fidget. Benoit Fishing Outdoors almost did it again. It says, we're still waiting on cat count badges and t-shirts that we were supposed to go out, haven't got them yet. Not sure how they're going to handle that if it's not settled before then. I'm sure Steve will take care of you guys. He'll let you ladies in there. Don't worry. Oh, wait, Bugman's, I missed it. He says, I have a weight issue. I'm kind of shy about it. Is this a safe space? No. Those days are gone. It's not very safe. 600 pounds of batteries, gear, and angler, and a 450-pound max boat. Good reason? Yeah, that's
yes, absolutely.
That's a good reason. And not only that, check out Josh's videos. He'll talk about the performance, and not only in weight savings, but usage. So we're both coughing here tonight. If your battery is heavier than your fish and then the fish you catch, that's the only exercise you'll get. Oh, they're slamming each other.
Yeah. Outdoors Addiction, I think Michael Morello works for a battery company. He does.
I think he works for Interstate, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that is correct.
I don't know if Interstate is into lithium batteries. So one thing I do know
is I knew they was not.
I agree. It's been a while since I've looked into it, so I kind of was shying away from actually saying that. What was I going to say? Yeah, if you're going to use those lithium batteries, make sure you check with, or if you're going to use a lithium battery for your house battery, aka starting your motor, make sure you check with your manufacturer. Not all of them will do that. So that being said, I need to make sure you do that. I'd hate for somebody to go out there and buy one and hook it up to their outboard and roast the battery and not get covered under warranty. So you want to be careful about that.
They do make starting motor batteries.
They do. I don't think all
but they're not all created equal.
Exactly. I don't think all outboards can handle them. Same with chargers, Lyle. I know I have the digital Minn Kota charger on my boat, which does lithium batteries, but I know a lot of the older ones do not. So you also want to check on that before you get it. That's one of the reasons why I'm holding off, because if I got one 36-volt battery, I'd have to get a separate charger set up just for that one battery.
Yes, and for those of you that are interested in that, do not buy the battery charger off of Walmart. I got one brand new out of the box, did not work. Ordered the one from Lead Time Battery. First time, every time, just like things are supposed to work. Work right out of the box, never fails. Do your research. Don't just buy something because it's cheap. You'll be happy in the long run. Greg Burgess says, Lyle, Chad has fishing gear that will last forever. He can't fish worth a lick. Ha-ha, love you, brother. That's funny right there. I don't care who you are.
Nicole says, I'm looking at getting back into making fly fishing lures again. I find it to be a relaxing activity.
It is very relaxing.
And then, nothing like a hobby where grown men can use words like pink chenille and nail polish. And
Clear coat.
Clear coat, yeah.
Glitter.
Glitter, yeah. Although if you're a gentleman, you want to make sure that glitter, you don't get that glitter on you. You can get you in a lot of trouble. Ask me how I know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hello, burrito lady.
Story. Burrito Catfish Lady. They were on Hog Leg Show last night. Randy is good night watching them. How you doing, Lisa?
Oh, God damn.
And Jeff says, yeah, I tried making a few flies in the past. It was very, very relaxing to do.
It's a lot of fun, and you can create stuff that you think will work. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it don't. But designing and creating stuff that nobody else has done, or making something as a twist off of what somebody else did, is the highlight of it for me.
Doesn't Dieter always say that it's always already been done?
That's not true.
Well,
Dieter and another guy that we frequently visit about claim that everything has been done on YouTube, and that's far from the truth. If you can't come up with an original idea, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Jason, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? I happen to agree with you, Lyle. We can talk more about that later. USPS. Yeah, USPS is terrible these days, Benoit. I tried to go to UPS. I have much better tracking record with them. I don't really have that big a problem with USPS, but then again, I haven't shipped a lot too much lately, so people are saying hello. So, what else do you think we should be doing to get ready for spring now that Punxsutawney, that punk rodent, we got 6 more weeks of spring.
I haven't come about as near believing him as I do Dieter.
Yeah, I don't believe in him. Up north here, we got to we grasp for whatever we can get. So I'm hoping in 6 weeks that I'll be back on the water. So
I got to tell you, Mark, and you already know this story, but the people in chat does not. I was walking through the Bass Pro Shop store in Columbia, Missouri, here a couple of weeks ago, and I went by the gun section because I have a grandson that's is shooting trap in school, and I just look around to see if they happen to have something that he needs, so I can call my son and say, "Hey, you need to go buy this kid this or that." Anyhow, this guy stops me, and I had my Catfish and Crappie hat on, and he said, "How can I get one of them hats?" I said, "Message me when," and I give him my email address, and I said, "I'll pass this along." And that's about the time your father had passed away and everything. So he messaged me again the other day, and I sent you a message, or sent your email directly to him.
Okay.
He said, "I really do want one of them hats."
Well, all right.
He said, "That's the coolest hat I've ever seen." And this is just a guy out of the blue walking through the Bass Pro Shop store.
I sold a lot of those hats, and I kind of took a little break. I kind of didn't want to sell them while my channel was kind of in limbo, and it has been because I'm not doing any fishing right now or ice fishing at all. So when we get started up in spring, I'll make sure to have a supply. I got an idea for a couple other color schemes. Also, I may be able to, something may be in the works too, so I'm going to keep that under my so-called hat. But I still have some. I got one new hat left. I got this one I wear on the shows and stuff. But I'm liking my Lund hat actually too.
I got
one of my favorites.
Well, this was a really nice guy, and he's very serious about it. He's contacted me twice since we met at the store.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I'll have to keep an eye out for the email and see what I can do. So
absolutely. Nicole says, "I'm in Michigan. We always have 6 more weeks of winter."
Michigan's a beautiful state. I always liked it out there.
Is that where Luke is at now?
No, Luke's on some golf course in Florida.
Oh yeah,
playing with his putter. Some could argue that he's a punk rodent too sometimes.
So I think you're right. I think you're right.
And you call him your number one son. I heard that on Monday, and I'm like, we're going to have to address that.
Oh, he's something else, isn't he?
Greg says, Mark, it was 82 degrees today. May flies are out already.
What the hell?
That's too hot for me. That Louisiana heat. I mentioned this last week too. I got an invite to go down to was it Florence, Louisiana, to go do some fishing. I just can't make that trip at this time, but that definitely it sounds like a trip of a lifetime. I was just watching Meat Eater the other night while I was up in bed, and Giannis Patelis, one of the guys, he went down there and he was fishing for redfish, and it looked like and redfish, and he was fishing for yellowfin tuna, which are both on my bucket list.
Now
trip's gonna have to wait.
You know them redfish?
Mm-hmm.
They're just a drum.
Saltwater drum.
They're a drum.
They still look like fun to catch.
A drum. Nasty ass drum. But yeah, they do look like a lot of fun, and they fight hard, Mark. I've not caught one, but I would. Bad as I hate to say this, I probably would fish for one if I was down there.
Yeah, I believe Jonathan over at Hooked Catfish went down there and got on some monsters in one of his last videos. I couldn't remember how many weeks ago, but it wasn't that long ago, and they were getting some huge drum down there.
Yeah.
Big ones. It really made me want to go down there.
They have black drum down there. It's a saltwater drum that are monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Special equipment, beware. I don't think that you could just take a regular old bass rod out there and put one of them black drums in the boat. Not continuously. I think you need special equipment. What do you want?
Georgie says 50 to 65 degrees is my fishing weather.
If it would stay that temperature year round, or you can find a place that's like that where the wind doesn't blow 90 to nothing all the time, please email me. I'm looking for a spot like that, 50 to 60 degrees. It can be cloudy. I don't give a damn about sunshine. I just don't want the wind to blow all the time.
You need a little bit of wind, Lyle. I don't care what anybody says. That
makes a little bit. Yeah.
Fishing with Big Mike in the house. Says he's pan fishing right now. I think he's fishing for some bait. That's probably for sure. Oh, and since Big Mike, that reminds me, Aaron over at Catfish Regulators, he's having surgery tomorrow on his knee. Good luck to him. I know that Bugman's having surgery on his knee. Good luck to him. We want to hope that both of those guys' surgery goes swimmingly. They don't run into any issues, and they recover really, really, really fast. So
yeah, that's for sure.
Nicole says, you don't ask for much, do you, Lyle?
Nope, I do not. I used to think that Alaska would be the perfect place for me because I hunted a lot, but I can't walk very far these days. And so I don't like the cold weather. I like the heat turned up. And 55 to, I don't like it where I sweat all the time when I'm fishing, but I can deal with that more than I can deal with the ice. And besides that, if the ice does not get on the water around here, then James Dockery can't ice fish, and I'm a happy camper if he can't. And his wife doesn't have to sit in her car while he does. Read books and stuff like that.
Let's see. Jersey says one of them should live stream their surgery. Hey, there's an idea.
I have went back and watched videos of some of the surgeries I've had done, not ones on me, but on other people where they post them up, which some of them I find really interesting. Others kind of gory, but
I can't watch those knee surgeries when they get the big old hammer and chisel out. I don't really care to watch that too much.
I got to tell you, Mark, I had lenses put under both my eyes and cataracts removed from them. And the lady that does mine in Columbia, doesn't use the machine where they like a computer toy. She hand does them by hand. They say she's the best there is. I don't know about that, but I did go in and watch a video of that happening and seen what it was the procedure that she done to me. I found it extremely interesting that they can go in there and cut your eyelid or underneath your eye on the surface of your eyeball and slip a lens in there to make you see better. It wasn't gory like you think it would be, but extremely interesting. Yeah.
I can't do that. Our mutual acquaintance who happens to be a nurse, she loves to gross me out with stories. So
she probably knows a few.
She does know a few. I don't care to repeat. Not anytime soon. Big Mike says, come down here, Lyle. Been 70 with no wind or very little.
Wow. That'd be all right.
I think he's still in Tennessee, or maybe not. I'm not quite sure.
That sounds right.
Greg says
70s.
I could do for a few weeks of 70s, that's for sure. Greg Burgess says, Mark, the biggest redfish was 32 pounds. The state record is 63 pounds.
Wow.
Out to south of me.
Man, I think you got some 70s coming up this week.
Not me. I got garbage all week. I was just checking my weather today.
I was just kidding.
Oh, the best I can do all week's 32 degrees, I think it's saying, or 37 tomorrow. But we're supposed to get that ice storm overnight, so that kind of null and voids that 37 degrees.
Cindy said her sister woke up with her hip surgery, and I remember when that happened. I can't only imagine.
I am not going to say it, or else I'll get an emoji from Chad. So,
really?
Yeah.
Go ahead then.
All right. Remember when Chad woke up from his proctology exam? During his proctology exam?
No.
Oh, okay. Bugman says never watched
neither. Thinking that it was good.
Haven't one.
Oh man.
And Jersey says he watched one after his hip replacement. He's glad there's anesthesia.
I think when Chad woke up, that doctor had both his hands on Chad's shoulders.
Jesse over at Outdoor Addiction says Hispanics love to eat drum and carp, especially out of the Fox River. My Polish relatives aren't much different, so I ain't gonna lie. I'm not that guy. Luke Henges likes drum. Who else likes Josh likes drum. Parker likes drum.
James Dockery loves them. Mm-hmm. Even Katie.
Really? Not a fan.
You must never had catfish fixed correctly or something.
I think I had drum once. Maybe I'll do a drum catch and cook this year, and I'll have you on screen with me when I do that. So
yeah, I'll just have a wicker basket close by with a bag in it.
Yeah, maybe. I can stomach most things.
You never ate drum, you haven't.
I just feel it would taste kind of like, I don't know. Let's see.
I'll tell you this, carp is a lot better. A lot better.
Cindy says, my sister woke up with her hip surgery. I don't like that.
Yeah. Sure did.
Now we're talking. Now you can tell that we're older gentlemen here because everybody's talking about hip replacements and knee replacements. And
do you have any ice today, Mark?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any ice today?
No, nothing today. Today wasn't too bad. I got out and ran some errands today. It wasn't too bad. Big Mike says he's only 100 yards from the Tennessee state line.
100 yards. He could kill deer either way then.
He's got to buy 2 hunting.
It'd be worth it. Look at all the jerky you could make.
I don't know. I looked into a hunting license or a deer tag in Missouri because I got an invite from one of our subscribers. And I think, don't quote me, I think it was like $417 for me.
Doesn't surprise me.
Oh, that's
doesn't surprise me.
That's a lot of ground beef.
It is a lot of ground beef, but if you take that ground beef and mix it with that deer burger, just think how much more you got.
This is true. Jason says, we are getting ice now in Midwest Illinois. I think it's heading up this way too, Jason.
Nicole says deer in Tennessee are tiny. Compared to Michigan deer, yes, they are. Michigan deer, Wisconsin deer are gigantic bodied deer, like Canadian deer.
Illinois got some big deer too. That's why Tim Wells bought a farm here in Illinois just for the deer hunting.
Absolutely. And he can afford it.
Well, yeah, he's been doing this for a long time.
Yep.
I was watching, speaking of Tim Wells, he came to mind here just this week. I was watching somebody call somebody else the king of duck hunting, right, Lyle?
Yes.
And I'm thinking that Tim Wells, man, when he knocks them ducks out of the sky with a bow and arrow, that doesn't get any more kingly than that.
I've seen him shoot ducks and geese and everything
else. Knocking doves out of the sky down in South America. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's pretty good bow shot, and he'll shoot about anything with a bow. So when you start talking about being a bird hunter of any kind, he's one of the first guys that comes to mind for me, anyhow. He's, like I say, he's been doing it a long, long time.
His videos when he's up in a tree hunting buffalo with a spear, those always blow my mind too. But anyways,
yeah,
we're way, way, way off a target here, but that's not unusual for us.
Really?
Yeah, this is true. When Jersey says when surf fishing here one night, I was catching croakers and decided to try one. Tried cooking a couple up. I was pleasantly surprised how good they were. Well, there you go. You never know till you try it.
No.
What's going on, Mike Irvin? How you doing, buddy?
Good to see Mike in here.
Saying hello to you, Lyle.
He's been a channel supporter of Panfish Nation and Catfish Weekly nearly from the get-go.
Mike's good too. 922 says, keep that crap over there. He's tired of ice. Can't say I blame you.
Nope. It sucks, but, it is what it is. We had some this morning.
Cindy says, oh, boy. I wasn't put to sleep for my knee replacement. I had a block done with mild sedation. I was too scared of being put to sleep. Ooh. Big bad.
No, I want them putting me out.
Yeah, put me to sleep. I wish I could have somebody put me to sleep every night. Then I might get some rest.
It's real easy. Just call me. I'll bring a ball bat over there or a hammer. Send Chad. He'd be happy to do it, I'm sure.
I have a glass bottle with some adult beverage that I hope to help me. So,
yeah, that might work.
Hey, I got that emoji from Chad. Mission accomplished.
Did you now?
I did. Haven't heard from my buddy in a long time.
I'm glad it wasn't just me.
So I ordered some new baits, Lyle, without you, bud.
I am so shocked.
I ordered some Bobby Garland little roamers, getting ready for, I guess I can use it for both walleye and for crappie here in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So I got more plastics than probably, well, not as much as you got, but that's another story.
Oh, I don't know. I'll tell you something that I've been watching videos about and very interested in. I don't have any. Is those Bobby Garland itsy bitsies? They're like a little 1 inch or 1 1/4 inch swim bait type lure.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the guy catching bluegill on those here recently.
Those are great.
They look amazing. I was concerned about them being too big for bluegill. Bluegill have such a tiny mouth on them, but they was sucking them up and getting plumb up to the hook. So I'm not sure they are too big.
Here's a cool fact. Jason Lamb says Illinois has giant deer. My wedding was at Tim Wells' house. He lives right down the road. Ooh, fancy.
Holy crap. That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Look at that. Even John at Smallwater says Tim Wells is the man.
He is.
The slock master.
And his daughter catches some really nice fish.
Yeah, his daughter's working for Barstool Sports now, and they're located right here in Chicago. So she's constantly down on the lakefront with Perrick. They're always doing some smallmouth fishing down there. So it's always cool to hear when there's a sighting of her down there. A lot of people are always talking about it on the forum, on the local forum. So it's cool. I guess they're both.
She has a great video out where she goes down and fishing with Sarah Parvin, who grows gigantic bluegill. So if you get a chance, check that out. If you are a fan of bluegills like I am, you'll be glad you did. They're not only hand size, they're hand size and then another hand size. You're talking about 12-inch bluegill, pound and a half or more.
They're iPad sized.
That's right. Gigantic.
Yeah, that's her father's property, and she helps him raise them bluegill on that property. And they have been selectively harvested to a point of where they're monsters. But again, they are farm raised. And Brett, I tried to get her on my show, Lyle. She said she does a new podcast back in the day.
Well, and that's okay because it's not for everybody, and everybody doesn't like to do it. But the only place I know that you can catch bigger bluegill than what she's got is Lake Havasu in Arizona. And Ty Klieg with TY Pig Patrol makes a couple 3 trips a year down to Havasu and fishes with some friends of his. They fish in marinas usually.
Gin clear water too.
It is, and you can watch them hit 8 foot down. And 2-pound bluegill are not uncommon at all, and bigger ones is likely. Biggest bluegill in public water I've ever seen.
Look at this. Pontoon Jody decided to join us this week. She says, "You know what else is pretty cool? This show." Hi, Lyle and Mark.
Hey, Jody, thanks for joining us.
Jason says that our wives are good friends. Hey, good to know.
Or what?
His wives are good friends with Tim Wells' wives, I imagine.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, I would have to think he'd be an all right guy to live beside or just be around. He just seems like a real personable fella.
He just seems like a good dude. A lot of people in the outdoor world are. Especially the more accomplished ones. They got nothing to prove to anybody, and all they got to do is be friendly. So
that's right. And then there's some that are not.
Trying to think what other videos I've been watching lately. I haven't been watching all that much. I've been busy with a lot of family stuff and some of my business stuff and so on. So let's see. I watched some Blue Gabe videos, I think, in the past week. That one meat eater one where they were fishing, I watched that one. I think I watched a goat hunting video too. I forget whose channel that was on. Oh, and I watched some squirrel hunting videos on Kendall Gray's channels. Those are always fun to watch. That kid makes me laugh all the time. He's a pretty good dude, great storyteller.
I'll tell you, somebody had a great video come out today. Bob Britt, Bobcat Outdoors.
Oh yeah,
really good. I actually messaged him. He's got a new camera angle. I'm not going to tell anybody about it. You have to go watch the video to see how it's set up. He had it in another video here a while back, and I didn't message him. I seen it and liked it and forgot to message him, but I did message him today and tell him I thought it was very innovative. And so if you get a chance, go check out Bob.
I'm gonna have to check that out right when we get done with this for sure. I'll check out Dave all over's video too. Bugman says, "Is there anywhere within say 10 hours from Indy to go catch big bluegills consistently?" Consistently is always a hard thing to do.
Yeah,
Mendoza's got monsters in there, but that's a big lake. It's big. The lake is bigger than the city of Madison if you look at it on the map. So you got to cover a lot of ground. But when they're in the shallows, when they're on the weed edges and stuff, you can get 1 pounders. They're easy, not plate size ones, but pretty darn close to.
1 pound bluegill is a giant. I don't care where you're at.
You know, they're like this thick, this girthy. I got big 2XL hands, so they fill them up pretty good. So you already have an invite when they're biting to come on up here.
One thing I'll say about that is they only live so long, so it doesn't hurt to harvest a few of them, but don't take them all because you still need to let that gene pool reproduce.
Well, you know, Mendoza's got a limit of panfish total. So like a combination crappie, bluegill, and perch, the limit is 10 a day. So there you go.
Yeah. Tequila shot or 2 or 3 might fix that temporarily. Oh, I don't know. It'll make you forget about it. That's for damn sure.
My dad would say brandy. That's what his cure was. So
Crown, but that's just me, you know.
Whatever makes him happy. So
yeah, it doesn't matter. Small Water Charter says, I'm 20 hours from that lake. Just looked. Worth the trip, buddy. I promise. Especially in May.
No, John, you need to come up here in January. Perfect weather for you, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
I know that for me to John is probably 20, 22 hours to say the least. That's a long ride. So Jody, look at this. Jody's turning our chat into a singles thing. I need a new bait boy. If you guys want to apply to be Jody's bait boy, just email Jody at jodysrandy.com and she'll reply to include pictures to all the people she approves of.
Just message her on Facebook.
Oh, she wants just bait, please. Okay.
Oh, just bait.
Oh, I thought she was looking for a new bait boy.
I'm thinking she'd be getting pictures all right.
Jesse says, are y'all going to CatCon? I know a lot of people ain't going. I am not going to CatCon this year. I'm saving money for a trip that I want to take here midsummer. So
I am not.
Okay.
Hell, I'll still have this damn cold by then from the way it looks.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'll be able to make it. So. Bugman says, I'm looking for somewhere to go check out, and if it's good, to take my son on a trip with me.
I understand.
And John says, must have a picture of Annette. Nicole asked me, am I near Chicago? Yeah, I'm actually between 35 miles outside of Chicago. I grew up in Chicago. I'm halfway between the city limits of Chicago and Rockford, Illinois, right off of 90. So that's where I fished the Fox River, northeastern Illinois. Where are you from, Nicole? Most people don't like the fact that I'm from Chicago, but that's okay.
If you're that close, you're a suburb, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm on the exurbs, I call them. So
the what?
The exurbs. I could hit farmland with a rock from my backyard, pretty much.
That's awesome.
John is telling Bugman, the way you fish, Buggy, I suggest Long John Silvers.
That's funny.
Bugman says, kind of starting a new tradition. I don't think I can go to the place me and Dad fished anymore. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So Jody's asking Jesse for bait. Jesse lives just past me, so that'd be quite the ride, Jody. Nobody give Jody my address. She'll want to stop over here. Well, you got anything else for the people in chat? We're coming up on
I do not.
All right. I want to let you go get some rest. I know you've been coughing a little bit. You're not feeling well.
Can't sleep, can't do anything but cough. So, and people that's had this, they can all appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like whatever it is, it just does not want to go
They don't want to leave. No, that's for sure.
So I'm going to thank everybody for listening. Thank you, everybody, for watching and chatting in the chat. Thanks for all the thumbs up. Hopefully you guys will do that on your way out. I'd appreciate it if you haven't. Other than that, there we go. Feel better, Lyle. Keep him in your prayers. Keep Buggy and keep Aaron in your prayers 100%. I'm pretty sure he's out there listening.
Thank you, guys.
Greg Burgess, enjoy your weather, man. I used to visit my aunt and uncle in Hammond, Indiana. I'm still away, so I'm a good 2 hours and a half, 2 hours from Hammond. So, all right, we'll see everybody later. Have a good night. God bless. Bye-bye.